Outlander Season 8, Episode 1 is more than just a premiere. It's the beginning of the end, the final chapter in a love story that has carried us through centuries, battles, betrayals, heartbreaks, and miracles. And now, the trailer itself has confirmed what we've always feared but never wanted to face. Jamie Fraser and Claire Fraser are standing on the edge of their greatest trial yet, one that could end in tragedy. From the very first frame, the Season 8 Episode 1 trailer reminds us that Outlander has never been a show about playing it safe. It's always been about love tested in impossible ways, and this time, the stakes are higher than ever. Fans who watched the Season 7 finale are still haunted by the revelation of Faith, the daughter Jamie and Claire thought they had lost forever. That single twist shattered the rules of what we thought we knew, and now the trailer doubles down, hinting that her survival might not just be a story of hope, it could be the very force that pulls Jamie and Claire apart. Imagine the pain of discovering that your child lived, not in your arms, but in a world built from lies and secrets. That's the weight hanging over Claire, and it's already clear from the tone of the trailer that Season 8 will not ease that burden. But it's not just Faith's shadow that looms over them. The trailer gives us glimpses of Jamie warning of war, his voice steady but heavy with dread. His chilling line, "A Fraser must die in the backcountry," echoes like a prophecy, one that has shaken fans to the core. Could it really mean Jamie himself? Or is the series playing with fate, giving us just enough to fear the worst but still daring us to hope? That's the cruel brilliance of Outlander. It never tells us outright. It makes us feel the dread in our bones, forces us to carry that fear until the very last second. And in this final season, there will be no easy resolutions. The heartbreak doesn't end there. The trailer teases the fractured bond between Jamie and Lord John Grey, a relationship that was once one of the deepest and most complex friendships in the series. After Lord John's marriage to Claire under the false belief that Jamie was dead, their trust has been shattered beyond recognition. And now, whispers suggest that John's only path to redemption might be through sacrifice, a possibility that could play out as early as Episode 1. Can you imagine the weight of that? A man who loved Jamie more than life itself choosing to give up everything just to restore what was broken. That's not just tragedy, it's Shakespearean, and it's the kind of storytelling that makes Outlander unforgettable. And then there's the mystery of Master Raymond. Claire's haunting dream from Season 7, where he appeared to her with an apology, still lingers unanswered. The trailer fuels this mystery with fleeting imagery and lines that suggest his influence is not finished. Could he be the key to Faith's fate? Did he orchestrate something that even Claire has yet to uncover? Fans have speculated for years about Raymond's true nature, whether he's a traveler, a manipulator of fate, or something even greater. Episode 1 seems poised to pull that thread, and with flashbacks already promised by the showrunners, this isn't going to remain a background theory anymore. It's about to be laid bare. But Outlander doesn't just thrive on mystery, it thrives on inevitability. And what feels inevitable now is Jamie's death. The book readers know the quote well, and hearing it in his own voice in the trailer is almost unbearable. The man who has fought and bled for his family, who has crossed oceans and centuries for Claire, now speaks as though his story has already been written in stone. Yet Outlander has always blurred the line between prophecy and misdirection. Is this truly his end, or just a cruel reminder that history and destiny do not care about love? This is the question Episode 1 dares us to ask, even if we're terrified of the answer. And let's not forget Brianna and Roger, who now stand at the crossroads of their own storm. The trailer hints at tension, at the lingering scars of Rob Cameron's betrayal, and at new dangers that could threaten their children in the 20th century. Sophie Skelton herself teased the idea of Brianna possibly carrying another child, a thread that could shift their entire arc in unexpected ways. It's a reminder that even though Jamie and Claire's journey anchors the story, the legacy of their love extends far beyond them. Their children, their grandchildren, and even those tied to them through loyalty and betrayal, all of it feeds into the final tapestry of this saga. Episode 1 isn't just about setting the stage, it's about confronting everything the Frasers have carried with them for 8 seasons. Every battle, every heartbreak, every miracle, And every impossible choice has led to this moment. And if the trailer tells us anything, it's that the beginning of the end won't arrive quietly. It will roar, it will break us, and it will remind us why Outlander has always been more than just a love story. It's a fight against time itself. What makes this final season so haunting is not just what the trailer shows us, but what it refuses to reveal. Outlander has always thrived on silence, on glances, on words left unspoken. And in this trailer, there are moments where the silence says more than any dialogue could. The way Claire looks at Jamie, almost as if she's memorizing him, tells us that she feels the weight of time pressing down. She's seen prophecies before. She's lost too much to dismiss omens, and now she faces the unbearable possibility of losing the only man she's ever truly loved. This silence isn't peace, it's fear. Fear of endings, fear of finality, and fear of what's written in history books that Claire herself has already read. The shadow of Frank Randall looms over this season as well, even if Tobias Menzies is not returning. In the books, Frank's writings and prophecies about Jamie's fate shape much of the tension, and the trailer makes sure we don't forget it. The idea that history records Jamie Fraser's death is almost cruel because history has never accounted for Claire's presence, for time travel, for miracles, or for the way love bends fate. And yet, even with that hope, there's a cold dread to knowing that written words, once printed, are difficult to erase. The line between destiny and choice has always been blurry in Outlander, but in this final season, that line feels razor thin. Will Claire's knowledge of the future save Jamie, or will it destroy him? Because in trying to change fate, she might bring it to life. But while death and fate linger in the air, the trailer also gives us glimpses of something more fragile: hope. Faith's mystery, for one, is not just about pain, but about possibility. If she truly survived, then the story of Jamie and Claire has one last miracle left to give. The flashbacks teased by the showrunners promise to finally give us clarity, to show us what really happened in that Parisian hospital all those years ago. Was Faith truly lost, or was her fate rewritten by unseen hands? And if she lived, what kind of life has she endured away from her family? These questions are no longer background speculation. They are central to Episode 1, and the trailer hints that answers are coming sooner than we expect. But the cruel question remains: will this miracle bring healing? Or will it tear Jamie and Claire apart? After all, no joy in Outlander comes without a price. Another thread that refuses to loosen its grip is the fractured relationship between Jamie and Lord John Grey. Fans who loved their bond are already bracing themselves because the trailer teases a coldness between them that feels impossible to mend. Lord John was once Jamie's most loyal confidant, a man who carried the deepest love for him even while knowing it could never be returned. That love once made him a hero in Jamie's eyes, but after the events of Season 7, trust was shattered, and now whispers suggest that Lord John's only chance at redemption might come through the ultimate act of loyalty, laying down his life for Jamie. Imagine the heartbreak of such a moment, the tragic poetry of a man who could never have Jamie's love in life, giving him peace in death. If that sacrifice happens, and if it happens in Episode 1, it will be one of the most devastating yet beautiful moments in the entire series. And then there's war. The trailer makes it clear that the backcountry is no longer safe, and Jamie's ominous line confirms it: blood will be spilled. Outlander has never shied away from the brutality of history, and now we are moving into the years where rebellion and revolution shape every choice. The threat is no longer distant. It's at their doorstep. Every ally becomes a question mark, every bond a potential betrayal. And in the chaos of war, the Fraser family's unity will be tested like never before. The trailer shows fleeting images of soldiers, flames, and chaos, and while the details are hidden, the mood is unmistakable. Episode 1 is not easing us in gently, it's throwing us into fire. Brianna and Roger's journey in the 20th century adds another layer of tension. The trailer shows them in moments of both tenderness and fear, reminding us that even in another century, the Fraser family is never safe from danger. The scars of Rob Cameron's betrayal still linger, and the threat to their children remains real. Sophie Skelton has already teased the possibility of new life, another baby. But in Outlander, birth and death are often intertwined. Could joy come hand in hand with tragedy? That's the cruel symmetry this show has always loved. And Roger, who has carried his own share of loss and pain, must now face the possibility that the cycle of sacrifice hasn't ended. His journey has always been one of faith, of finding meaning in pain, and the final season will push that faith to its limits. The trailer also introduces us to new faces, though it refuses to tell us exactly how they fit into the larger story. Captain Charles Cunningham, his mother, and Amaranthus Grey are names we don't yet know, but the fact that they are introduced in this final act means their roles will not be trivial. Outlander has no time for side characters anymore. Every new presence is a piece of the puzzle. Will they become allies, enemies, or something in between, the way so many characters in this story have blurred the lines of loyalty and betrayal? Episode 1 is set to plant these seeds, but it's up to us to piece together how they grow. And above all, what lingers after watching the trailer is the feeling of inevitability. The end is here. Jamie and Claire's story has always felt larger than life, but now, with only 10 episodes left, the walls are closing in. Every glance, every word, every moment feels heavy with meaning. This isn't just another season, it's the last chapter of a story that has defined a decade of television. And episode 1 isn't promising us comfort, it's promising us truth, no matter how painful it is to face. The end of Jamie and Claire isn't just coming, it's already begun. What makes Outlander Season 8 Episode 1 so devastating is the way it ties every thread back to Jamie and Claire. The showrunners have already confirmed that nothing in this final season is wasted. If it doesn't matter to them, it won't make the cut. And that's why the trailer feels so suffocatingly intimate. Every single moment, whether it's a whispered warning, a fleeting flashback, or a silent look, circles back to the unshakable truth. This is Jamie and Claire's last stand. But what makes it even harder is that the trailer doesn't just tease their future, it forces us to confront their past. The ghosts of Paris, Culloden, Ardsmuir, and Fraser's Ridge all hang over them. It's as if the show is reminding us of every time they cheated death, every time fate bent to their love, and whispering that this time, fate may not bend again. The Faith storyline is at the center of that reminder. For years, fans believed her to be lost, a cruel tragedy that marked Claire forever. Yet the dream of Master Raymond and the arrival of Fanny in Season 7 cracked that certainty wide open. Now the trailer lingers on shadows and whispers that make us believe we might finally learn the truth. Did Faith survive? If so, who kept her hidden? And more painfully, why? Was it mercy or manipulation? Some theories suggest that Raymond faked her death, not to punish Claire, but to protect the child from dangers we still don't fully understand. Others believe that the survival of Faith was tied to time itself, a twist of fate that would only make sense in the grand scheme of Jamie and Claire's journey. Whatever the answer, Episode 1 is about to pull this wound open, and it won't just be about healing. It will be about breaking us all over again. And that's the cruel beauty of Outlander. It never gives without taking. If Faith is alive, then what does that mean for Brianna, for Roger, for the legacy of the Fraser name? How does Claire face the reality of years lost, of a daughter who grew up in a world without her? This isn't a happy reunion waiting to happen. It's a storm of emotions, of guilt and longing, and the trailer makes sure we feel it in our bones. Every glimpse, every cryptic line, every flicker of Claire's haunted eyes tells us this won't be simple. This is Outlander at its most brutal, its most honest, its most unforgettable. But as the Faith mystery rises, another shadow grows darker, Jamie's fate. His line about a Fraser dying in the backcountry has already become the most quoted moment of the trailer, and for good reason. It's not just a warning, it's a death sentence. But is it his? Or is the show daring us to believe in misdirection one last time? For years, Book readers have debated whether Jamie's death is written in stone or whether his love for Claire rewrites history itself. The trailer does nothing to ease that fear. It leans into it, making us feel the weight of inevitability pressing down. And yet, Outlander has always thrived on testing the line between prophecy and free will. Could Jamie's death be real? Or will someone else bear the cost to change fate? That's the cruelest part of watching this story unfold. We know someone must fall, but we don't know who. Lord John Grey's role in all this feels like a loaded gun. His fractured bond with Jamie has already left scars, but whispers of sacrifice hang heavy in the air. Could John be the one who dies, the one who fulfills Jamie's prophecy by taking his place? If that happens, it won't just be a plot twist. It will be a gut punch, a devastating end to one of the most layered relationships the series has ever built. And if John's death restores Jamie's fate, it would be the ultimate act of loyalty, the kind of tragic poetry that only Outlander can deliver. Episode 1 might not give us the full answer, but the seeds are already there, waiting to bloom into heartbreak. Meanwhile, war rages in the background. The trailer makes it clear that the Fraser family cannot escape the violence of history. The backcountry is burning, loyalties are shifting, and enemies are closing in. Outlander has always been brutal in its depiction of war, and now, with the revolution drawing closer, that brutality is about to reach its peak. Episode 1 promises no safe ground, no easy victories. Every moment of peace feels borrowed, every smile a fragile mask hiding the fear of what's to come. And in that fear, Jamie and Claire's love will be tested like never before. Because war doesn't just claim lives, it claims hope. It shatters families, and it forces choices no one should ever have to make. And then there's Brianna and Roger, caught between centuries. Their storyline might feel distant from Jamie and Claire's at times, but the trailer makes it clear they are part of the same storm. The scars of Rob Cameron's betrayal are still fresh, and the danger to their children is far from over. But there's something else lurking in their story. Possibility. Sophie Skelton's comments about Brianna maybe carrying another child add a fragile hope to their arc, but also a dangerous symmetry, because in Outlander, new life always comes with loss. Could Brianna's joy be tied to Jamie and Claire's tragedy? Could her new beginning mirror their ending? These are the questions that make the final season so unbearably powerful. Every thread is connected, every joy balanced by pain. The trailer also hints at the arrival of new characters, figures whose roles are still cloaked in secrecy. Captain Cunningham, his mother, and Amaranthus Grey might seem like small pieces now, but Outlander doesn't waste time in its final act. Their presence means they are vital to the story, whether as allies, adversaries, or something far more complicated. Outlander has always thrived on blurred loyalties, on characters who cannot be trusted, and Episode 1 may begin weaving them into the fabric of the Frasers' final struggle. Their arrival reminds us that even at the end, new dangers and new mysteries can still emerge. And through it all, one truth cuts deeper than the rest. This is not just the beginning of another season. This is the beginning of the end. Outlander. Season 8. Episode 1 doesn't want to comfort us. It wants to shake us, to break us, to make us question whether love really can conquer fate. And as we step into this final chapter, the trailer makes one thing clear. We are not prepared for the heartbreak waiting on the horizon.